Hey everyone, Antoine Fantoine here, internet's busiest music nerd, you know who it is, bestest in the game. And on this channel we are moving a segment from the second channel over here, now that the podcast is kind of dead. Don't know if you caught that up on Twitter, but yeah, podcast is on its deathbed, though I don't see it going anywhere forever. You know, it's still going to be around. I'm just probably going to be doing the podcast when a bigger, sort of more eventful interview comes along. Just going to stick to the reviews and the stuff I'm doing on the second channel for now. But anyway, what this segment is going to be is a weekly segment where I recommend a bunch of tracks to you guys that have come out over the past week that I'm really enjoying. Because there are a lot of songs that come out every week and you guys are asking me to review them and talk about them. And sometimes I don't always get to it because there are a lot of albums that I want to review. You know, unfortunately can't really review everything, and but you know, the track reviews aren't going anywhere necessarily. But there's some tracks that I just essentially want to give a shout out to and turn you guys onto them, have you guys go check out some links in the description box, and yeah, that's it. That's essentially what this segment is going to be. So, favorite track segment. Going to try to do this as weekly as possible. Now, before I get into this segment, I want to tell you guys that you should hit up our Amazon Associates link down there in the description box. It supports this segment and my buddy Austin, who edits this segment as well. Anything you buy on Amazon, if you live in the US, we get kickback from it. Does not add to your overall price. Just use it to buy shit you were gonna buy anyway. And now, some recommendations of some new tracks. First off, Viet Cong is back under their new band name, Preoccupations. They have a new single, new album on the way. Song is titled Anxiety. It's really brooding, it's dark, it's droney, not quite as punky as the band's previous material, but it's still pretty intriguing. Looking forward to what the band does next after this past name change and everything. Gonna see if it kind of coincides with an aesthetic, a sound change as well. It could quite possibly. I also want to give a shout out to BADBADNOTGOOD's new cut featuring Kaytranada, the song Lavender. Kind of a tit for tat situation here because Bad Bad Not Good did appear on Kaytranada's last full-length LP. And now we're hearing some very prominent, fat, dark, deep, bassy synths all over this cut over here. It's kind of ominous, it's psychedelic, but still hip-hop infused and jazzy as you would expect a good Bad Bad Not Good track to be. So again, liking this track and anticipating that band's forthcoming full-length LP. This track and all these others linked down there in the description box. Moving on, Eric Copeland of Black Dice fame has a new track out titled R.I.P, new album on the way. This track read to me as kind of like a, I don't know, a psych pop song. Eric's music is sounding a little more accessible than it has in the past, and I'm liking that. However, the watery, washy, very strange electronic effects and manipulations, of course, are present in the mix. It's a very strange track, not saying it's going to be easy to get into, but it's sounding a little sweeter on the ears than Eric's music usually is. I mean, maybe that's sort of the intention here, given that from what I understand, this album is going to be titled Black Bubblegum, you know, maybe sort of bubblegum as in sweetness or bubblegum music, pop music, but the blackness being, you know, the darkness of it or sort of what makes it weird. So yeah, digging that track. Clipping has a new EP out titled Wriggle, which I will link down there as well, that I'm going to be doing a review of this EP very soon. Hold your horses, it's coming out. Danny Brown, new record. He just signed to Warp Records and new single titled When It Rain. This is the weirdest, most abstract and dark thing Danny Brown has done in a while. You know, his recent material has been very much focused on and developed for sort of that festival crowd and that club crowd that was really taking to his music. But this track is just, he just went left on this track. Not only is there like a pummeling, just heavy beat on this thing that's just not there, that's not present. Instead, the beat on this thing is very eerie with some high-pitched, sort of disjointed synth leads. And then we also have kind of this very kind of grainy drone cycling away in the instrumental as well. And Danny Brown's flow over this track is in fucking sane. He's just high octane, running on all cylinders from the beginning to the end of the track. The yelpy flow is here in all its glory, and some of the bars he delivers are pretty dark and grimy too. Again, one of the strangest things Danny Brown has done in a while, and it's going to be interesting to see if many of the other tracks on his forthcoming album follow suit. So, and again, him landing on Warp Records is a really interesting development as well. Looking to see if that's going to impact the sound of this album in some kind of way. Then we have the Avalanches, the song Colors, featuring Jonathan Donahue. Feels kind of like a psych pop throwback, but with the same kind of editing and sampling style that you expect from an Avalanches song. I did enjoy the iTunes mix of Frankie Sinatra a lot more than I did the YouTube mix, which I think was kind of marred with the sound effects from the music video. The vocals sounded a little bit better on the iTunes mix, so I am a little less anxious about whether or not this new Avalanches record is going to sound good, especially since now there have been other tracks coming out that sound somewhat decent. What's going to matter most is how they all come together into a full-length record, but so far with this new string of tracks, not really any complaints. You know, they're not really blowing me away or anything, but they certainly sound pleasant and feature the editing and the quality production that I have come to know from the Avalanches. I guess it's just kind of good to hear that they can come back after all these years and put out some quality stuff. And finally, I want to give a shout out to the new Hot Dad song, R.I.P. Meme, featuring none other than meme master, Mr. FrankJavCee. Hot Dad, you might have known him as someone who I've referenced on the It Came From Bandcamp series on this channel. Maybe we'll link you that somewhere over here. And also FrankJavCee, who we have shouted out on the channel numerous times before. But Hot Dad has also not only been on our It Came From Bandcamp series, but he's written the theme song for the series too. So Hot Dad, a very funny and creative producer and songwriter on the internet. If you're into the music and the works of like Tim and Eric, I think you'll find a lot of comedy and a lot of artistry in what he does. And he just came out with this amazing new collaborative track with FrankJavCee, where they essentially sing about the relevance and the death of popular memes. And I don't know, if you're just looking for like kind of a comedy synth pop, a bit of an 80s pop and 80s rock track, then I think you're going to enjoy this one. And yeah, that's it. That is the favorite track segment for this week, guys. Those are the songs I've been enjoying. Those are the songs that I want to turn you guys onto. So again, they're all linked down there in the description, along with our Amazon Associates link. Anything you're planning on buying on Amazon today, use our link. If you live in the US, we kick back from it, like I said. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good day. And bye-bye.